Sorry for that. So you can also do advertisement for individuals. Okay. So agencies may be hired to produce a complete overall advertising campaign and promotion activities to build awareness and fullness advertising goals and objectives of these institutions and individuals. Um, there are types of advertising companies. Advertising agencies come in all sizes. For instance, one or two person shops, which rely mostly on freelance talent to perform most functions. So you can come up, the two of you, with a colleague and form an agency, and you are not in a company, but companies call you, businesses call you, individuals calls you to participate for a specific period. Their advertising ends. It can also be a small, medium size agencies where you have a number of people to do those projects. But also it can be as large independent and multinational, multi-agency conglomerates, okay? Like the Sachi and Sachi or the O and M, like a small to medium size or one to two. Uh, um, we have examples of those in Zambia, like those beer. What were those called? Beer camps. The PRA girls. The PRA girls as an agency. Um, Motor Media also does communication agencies, but not necessarily advertisement at the moment, but to do communication services, like hired by institutions, governments, and individuals. So when you want to form a company like an agency, there are types of advertising companies. There are those limited service advertising agencies. Some agencies usually offer only one or two of the basic services. For example, although some agencies that specialize in creative ends also offer strategic advertising, planning, and services. They can plan your advert and all that, or they can just come and make the advertisement. In Zambia, we have a very good example of a lot of comedians doing advertisement for Trade Kings, for Mojo, for Red Bull, for Kung Fu. So those could be advertising agencies doing all those promotions. Dumbo recently came on social media and he did
It's 12 hours.
an advertisement for charity on COVID-19, where he did something to do with the Nakonde saga. And that's the advertisers. There are some which are similar. Some media buying services offer media planning services, but concentrate on media buying, placement, and bidding. And that's the advertiser also uses a limited service. Agencies usually giving greater strategic direction to specific creative or media agencies and exercising greater control over the product of these agencies. Specialist advertising agencies. These are agencies that specialize in particular kind of advertising. For instance, recruitments, classified adverts, industrial adverts, financial services, direct response, retail, yellow pages. Like I can come up and make a catalog for companies with adverts there, theatrical, entertainment, investment, and many more. So specialization occurs for a variety of reasons. Often, as in recruitment advertising, specialized media are involved that require knowledge, expertise, not ordinarily found in general line agencies. Okay, so they will do deeper research, in-depth research. So an industrial advertising, the subject is technical and requires that writers and artists have training and the technical know-how in order to write a meaningful advertising message about it. Okay, especially this time of COVID-19. So they are more technical, and you find that the key messages are the same. They can spend 20 minutes talking about COVID-19. We are hearing it's all about prevention, wash your hands, stay at home, wear a mask. Um, you know, the key messages are all the same. Okay, but in other places they may be very technical, deeper into went to deeper detailed jargon. Okay, so you need an agency that has the time and the leisure to do research and has the technical know-how in that field. Special, like you're doing adverts for mining and all that, you have to understand, have the capability to talk mining. If you're doing for a financial agency like a bank, then you must understand the corporate banking language. So you need that for you to write a better copy for that advert. So there's also branded content agencies. Branded content agencies don't produce advertising in the traditional sense. Rather, they aim to incorporate their client's brand into popular culture. So, like if you understand health communication, then you may not have the expertise in health, but you are a very good advertiser, advertisement agency, then you'll be hired to incorporate that medical information into your creative works. Creating a TV commercial for a brand, or developing a rich message content of the brand, or designing an event people want to attend. Okay, the idea is to make brands synonymous with an enjoyable experience. So that's why I find that comedians in Zambia, they may not have technical know-how of beverages and all that. They may not even be using those or taking those beverages, but they are called to advertise for Red Bull, for Mojo, and they create that joyous appeal, emotional appeal to the drink. So thereby making them better known and recognized in consumers' mind. Yeah, because if you know Big Loni and difficulty, and if you bring a brand, then as much as those guys are popular, you're making that brand also popular. Interactive agencies. Interactive agencies may differentiate themselves by offering a mix of web development, search engine marketing, internet advertising, marketing, or e-commerce consulting. Interactive agencies rose to prominence, offering a wide range of services. Today, the most successful interactive agencies are defined as companies that provide specialized advertising and marketing services for the digital space. We haven't yet broken market into this in Zambia. It's little by little that especially media companies are trying to advertise online. But we have no many agencies that use the digital platform for advertising because our business, our corporate and business world, they have not yet gone into selling online. So we are still using the traditional media. But let's say Alibaba, Amazon, eBay, those are such platforms that are digital oriented. So the recent boost in the interactive agency can also be attributed to the rising popularity of web-based social networking sites like MySpace, Facebook, YouTube, eBay, Alibaba, like binds and binds for books, and Amazon for many products. So we have those agencies, but not yet established or made a stamp in the Zambian advertising world. So most digital or online agencies are structured and work in much the same way as offline agencies, traditional agencies. There are some agencies that work mainly on media planning, buying, and some work solely on the creative side. Others will be full service incorporating all the facets of advertisement, be it media, be it selling, be it digital, be it graphic design. They incorporate all those services, the creative side, the buying side, the planning side. However, what binds them is their speciality. However, that what binds them is that their speciality will lie across all mediums of digital communication, including banners, viral emails, games, interactive TV, mobile and email marketing. Okay, so on the digital, somehow in Zambia we can say if there are other advertising agencies that send adverts on social media, but usually it's not very much where we get adverts on social media. Once in a while you can have that, but that's an avenue that is there for people to explore. And then direct marketing agencies. A direct marketing agency typically provides strategic, creative solutions to a client's business objectives by using direct marketing channels that are measurable in terms of the responses created. Direct channels include the likes of direct response TV and radio programming, where there's phoning in and all that. And also direct mail, where they send to your email, or they put mail in your mailbox, or they send you on your Airtel or MTN or Zamtel account. They send you messages that you have not solicited. Inserts in magazines, inserts in newspapers, for ShopRite, for Pick and Pay, for Fun City, for all those companies and retails. And also door drops, or whereby even face to face, or door drops, which can be also where they put leaflets on your car, on your house, and maybe they hand you leaflets like that. And also online advertising. Outdoor or out-of-home agencies. Outdoor agencies are specialized in out-of-home media, such as posters in all their various forms. They provide objective planning, buying, and related technical support for advertisers and their agencies to promote better understanding and more effective use of outdoor, out-of-home media, billboards, like we said, transit adverts, and also promotions, campaigns, okay, where you have a car with music promoting MTN or Airtel, and they bring a band, they bring a cultural group, they bring musicians, they bring comedians outdoor, and it's a celebration as they brand the product. Advertising agencies, they have a certain organization structure. How are they structured as an organization? Especially those bigger ones are not the one-to-one, because the two guys, partners, can do everything. But whereby it's a bigger conglomerate, international, it has a structure like any other institution, a corporate structure. So an advertising agency has a very different structure from that of a regular organization, because It's specific in advertisement. And on a general front, an advertising agency consists of a number of departments. The account management department, the account planning strategy department, the internal services department, inclusive of the traffic department, the creative department, and the print production cell, the human resource department, the financial and administrative department, and the media planning department. Advertising agencies could have, let's say, a president or a CEO on the top. The guy at the top who usually ensures that the client planning and creative are of good quality, creates monitoring and checking and somehow monitoring and checking, trying to see that the product reaches the full potential of the expected output by the client. There's also account management. These are people who assist clients plan their marketing, help determine budgets and set schedules. Because when you want to advertise, you have to plow, invest, and so they will advise you on how much you need to put for that. And then there's business development team, procuring business through innovative sales strategies and enhancing business prospects. And also the other department is media buyers, who supervise client budget and determines the most cost-effective media. So they might tell you that maybe for your product, for your brand, the best media is television, or the best platform is radio, or the best platform is to have print brochures or do online. Okay, and do online. But also creative and design. Creative and design business consists of copyright and art directors, those who do the graphic design, those who make those who look on aesthetics, the way to appear and the impression the advert will make, because they have to make those words into some reality that will evoke emotions. Okay, so you need that creative side of it. Then you have creative and design business consulting corporate and directors, which I've just explained. Then you have the traffic production management team, who make sure that work is being done on time and on budget. So we can give you a budget of how much your advert will cost. And we say if you have to make more influential, you need to pay much. And if your budget is less, then we make you a substandard advert. Then there's the support, typical financial, administrative, and other functions. There's a sideline departments. You know, like we are into creative and the graphic design, and also media production. But yet we need these the transport department, the human resource department, the administrators, who are actually not doing the advertising work, but supportive work that makes our work easier and effective. Then you have the advertising interns, comprising of you students who go on internship so that you can learn on practice if you are interested in advertising. So for instance, you might want to come to Moto Media Innovations at my office, my consultancy, and so I engage you when I'm given advertising projects. Then I engage you for a period of 9 weeks, and so you learn, and you go with me and my team, and you see what we do. And maybe if I'm engaged in a project with some serious company or a ministry, then we put you on board and we travel and we do all that. And so you have hand-on, not only what I'm lecturing you, theory, but you go in the field to an advertising agency. And so there's that provision for internship. And the student benefit more on that. So students who are interested in advertising, internship capability falls into one of the 6 areas of expertise. When I was training in South Africa for my first degree in communication, I did an internship with Bisa Zambia. So that was not really to do with advertisement, but that was to do with research and analysis in the information and research department. So in advertising department, you may have all that. Maybe you are doing research on the product, then others are going to produce the creative part. You just gather information and all that on the creative part. And there's also an account service. You may want to be on account service or in the interactive service or in the media planning, trying to devise which is the best platform for the client to advertise on. Or you may do the PR and traffic control department. There's also the overview of the creative department. The people who create the actual advertisements from the core of an advertising agency. And modern advertising agents usually form their copywriting and art direction into creative teams. So the creative teams may be permanent partnership or formed on a project by project basis. So you may be hired on a project and you do it that, or on a permanent basis whereby you're subcontracted to continuously do advertising work, let's say for Zambia, for the Ministry of Mining and Mineral Resources. So it depends on what's the arrangement, what the OMU or terms of reference you are given. Then there's also creative departments frequently work with outside design or production studios to develop and implement the ideas. So you may be on the creative design and advertising agency, yet you don't have the media equipment to form those adverts. So as a result, you also subcontract. Let's say for a radio, you may subcontract a broadcaster and you give him the piece and you do it through their broadcasting. Or you may subcontract somebody to do the video, the documentary, a short clip. But yourself is to design and to do the creative work. But when it comes to production, you go to media outlets to do that. It depends. But other advertising agency, they may have everything, even the creative department. So account services in an advertising agency appoint account executives to interact and liaison with the clients. The account executive need to be sufficiently aware of the client's needs, the aspiration, motives, and desires that can be instructed to the agency's personnel. The account management will also develop a creative brief, usually about a page that gives direction to the creative team. The executive brief often includes information about the target audience and their attitudes and behavior, because advertising is about behavioral change in purchasing and the demands of needs and wants. This is also the media services. The media services department may not be also well known, but it is employees. But its employees are the people who have contacts with the suppliers of various creative media. However, when dealing with the major media, let's say broadcast or print media, this work is usually outsourced to a media agency which can advise on media planning and is normally large enough to negotiate prices down further. So that's why I said we can be an agency, but we don't have the media equipment, and we outsource maybe ZNBC to film and to edit for us the advert that we want, and then we pay them for that media services. Production, very critical role. As without the production department, the ads created by the copyright and art director would imply nothing, because you need production to produce the advert. So the production department ensures that the TV commercial or print ad or the online ad gets produced. They are responsible for contracting internal vendors, directors and production companies in the case of TV commercials, photographers and design studios in the case of print advertising, or direct mailers in case of email and social media engagement. So producers are involved in every aspect of the project, from the initial creative briefing through execution and delivery. The traffic management department, an integral department within an advertising agency, is traffic. The traffic department regulates the flow of work in the agency to see how much work is there, how much client engagement is there, what's the outreach, what's the target market size. It is typically headed by the traffic manager, a system administrator. His critical function include prioritizing of clients, activity sequencing, increasing an agency efficiency and profitability through reduction of forced job starts, inappropriate job initiation. In small agencies without a dedicated traffic manager, one employee may be responsible for managing overflow, managing workflow, gathering cost estimates, and answering the phone, and much so doing social media engagement. Full service agencies or part-time agencies, the full service agency is involved completely in the advertising functions. It has a larger number of expert employees, guys who are have expertise in advertisement. And the part-time agency offers services on a free of cost or project basis. On a free of cost or project basis. These agencies perform various outside activities and coordinate the activities of the advertiser and the media personnel. Now, the compatibility selection of an advertising agency depends on the compatibility of the agency. The needs of the company determines the fitness of the agency on the basis of its merit, demerits, and accreditation. So you have to see which agency fits your budget, which agency fits your needs, which agency can actually give you the right target customer market. So agency team, this includes market researchers, copywriters, media experts, production managers, and art directors. The attitude, thinking, and experience and personalities of the team members have positive effects on the selection of process, the procedure from planning to execution. So agent stability, an agent which has been long in existence generally performs efficiently and effectively. The personnel, finance, experience, brand recognition, management, and grade are examined before selecting a suitable advertising agency. Services, the services rendered by the agency are evaluated with a view to choose the best advertising agency. So sometimes it's better to sample among different agencies, advertising agencies. You sample, you get they give you their briefs, and then you check. For instance, if to be provide the media consultancy, they will ask me for a CV, and they will ask for another guy for a CV, and then they will look at our CVs and examine which consultant can be engaged, who has the right technical know-how, the right academics, and the right credentials, and the right experience.